Although common sense and everyday experience may suggest that more learning occurs when there are fewer students, common sense cannot provide a quantitative answer to the question of what exactly is the effect on basic learning of reducing class size. To provide such an answer, we must examine empirical evidence, that is, evidence based on data relating class size to basic learning in elementary schools. In this text, we examine the relationship between class size and basic learning using data gathered from 420 California school districts in 1999. In the California data, students in districts with small class sizes tend to perform better on standardized tests than students in districts with larger class sizes. While this fact is consistent with the idea that smaller classes produce better test scores, it might simply reflect many other advantages that students in districts with small classes have over their counterparts in districts with larger classes. For example, districts with small class sizes tend to have wealthier residents than districts with large classes. So, students in small class districts could have more opportunities for learning outside the classroom. It could be these extra learning opportunities that lead to higher test scores, not smaller class sizes. In part two, we use multiple regression analysis to isolate the effect of changes in class size from changes in other factors, such as the economic background of the students. Question number two: is there racial discrimination in the market for home loans? Most people buy their homes with the help of a mortgage, a large loan secured by the value of the home. By law, U.S. lending institutions cannot take race into account when deciding to grant or deny a request for a mortgage. Applicants who are identical in all ways except their race should be equally likely to have their mortgage applications approved. In theory, then, there should be no racial bias in mortgage lending. In contrast to this theoretical conclusion, researchers at the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston found, using data from the early 1900s, that 28% of black applicants are denied mortgages, while only 9% of white applicants are denied. Do these data indicate that in practice there is racial bias in mortgage lending? If so, how large is it? The fact that more black than white applicants are denied in the Boston Fed data does not by itself provide evidence of discrimination by mortgage lenders, because the black and white applicants differ in many ways other than their race. Before concluding that there is bias in the mortgage market, these data must be examined more closely to see if there is a difference in the probability of being denied for otherwise identical applicants, and if so, whether this difference is large or small. To do so, in Chapter 11, we introduce econometric methods that make it impossible to quantify the effect of race on the chance of obtaining a mortgage, holding constant other applicant characteristics, notably their ability to repay the loan. Question number three: does healthcare spending improve health outcomes? It is self evident that no one lives forever, but avoidable deaths can be reduced and survival can be extended through the provision of healthcare. Healthcare has other beneficial effects too, like the improvement of the overall improvement of the health related quality of life of individuals. To these ends and more, a vast quantity of resources is devoted to the provision of healthcare worldwide. What is more, there is enormous variation in the healthcare expenditures across countries, both in absolute and per capita terms, as well as variations in health outcomes across countries. For example, measured by life expectancy at birth,